Hey, Chef Walker. I'm the author of the #1 best-selling, New York Times best-selling book launch. Very excited still about that. The number this week is 2 because this is our second week on the list. We did slip from #1 to #2. I'm still pretty happy about that. That 5 love languages, I think, beat us out. That's been a juggernaut, and it's been on the list for over a year now, and that beat us out at #1. So we're sitting at #2 in our second week, but I'm still pretty darn happy. So last week I put out a video where I was all excited about being #1. I'm still really excited about that. And just all kinds of comments came pouring in on my blog and social, all over the place. And one of the comments came in and said, "Congrats, Jeff, but honestly, 99% of us can't do this. You had big time marketers mailing the list for you because of your history in the industry." And it's sort of funny. It's like, well, isn't that exactly the point? In so many of these videos, I talk about the importance of having a list. And yeah, I did it. I put it up at #1 because of my list and because of my partner's lists. And that just shows you the power of email. And if you look through my videos, you can see it's a theme I keep on coming back to. One of the primary focuses, probably the primary focus of your business, needs to be building your list, both your list of prospects, but then your list of clients. Because in the end, really the idea of a sale, the reason to make a sale isn't so much to put dollars in your pocket, it's to generate a buyer, it's to add a buyer to your list. Because going forward, that buyer, when you take someone to turn from a prospect into a client, there is nothing more powerful you can do, because someone who has been a past client to you is worth 15 times. That's a number I've seen over and over in my various businesses. 15 times more than someone who's on your prospect list. And once you have someone on either your prospect list or your client list, it gives you this power to drive people back to your offers. So yeah, that's exactly the point. I did this through my list and through my partner's list. And the reason I've got partners that will mail for me is because I've done great things for them over the years. So and the other thing too is it's all about baby steps. This is Dr. Mayan said, 99% of the people couldn't do this that are watching this. And yeah, that's true. But you know what? I couldn't have done it 5 years ago. I couldn't have done it 15 years ago when I started, or whatever, 20 years ago when I started. It's all about those baby steps. The thing isn't, the question isn't whether you can be a #1 New York Times best-selling author right now. It's like, can you be there? And forget about, New York Times is great to get that badge. It's like the merit badge. I'm really happy I got it. I'm excited. I wanted it. It was a goal of mine. But the reality is you don't need that to be a huge success in your business. You can be an incredible success without having a book on the New York Times. Listen, it doesn't matter. It's just what matters is building that list. What matters is getting started. Is taking those baby steps and getting started. I've said this over and over, that the most important launch I ever did was that very first launch I did. I did $1,650 in sales. I was doing backflips. I was so excited to make that amount of money, but I was also unbelievably excited because I proved to myself that I could do it. And having that belief and understanding that you can create value in the world and get compensated for that value, then it's just a matter of degrees. That's how you go from doing that launch with that generated a handful of clients that did $1,650 to being able to have greater and greater success and end up with, this #1 New York Times bestseller. So it's just sort of funny. Yeah, that's exactly the point. I did it via email because email is so incredibly powerful. But I did it because I just also kept taking baby steps, one after another after another. So maybe you're one of the 99% that right now is not going to put a book on the New York Times bestseller list, but you're probably just like me. In fact, you're probably further along than where I was, back in 1996 when I was doing that first launch, when I had to prove to myself that I could create enough value where someone would actually compensate me for that, where someone would actually pay me, buy a product of mine. So it's all about those baby steps, and it's all about getting started building your list. And it's just a matter of degree and a matter of scale and a matter of working up to it, because You know, I'm one of those overnight successes after 20 years. And you can and you will be too if you just keep on taking those baby steps. So I'm Jeff Walker. If you're watching this anywhere besides my blog, head over there. That's where all the cool stuff happens, where the community happens. If you're on my blog, scroll down, leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think, and let's go get them this week.